All right. It's kind of late right now. I probably should be going to bed, but it's something that's been on my mind to share for a while, and I've just decided to, just take the time to do that before I go to bed. And it's the issue of, why some men take a while to propose or don't at all. Like, right? So some men take forever, and some men just don't get to that point. I've been getting a lot of questions about that lately, and so, let's spend some time talking about that, right? So this is just one of those relationship issues that people are going through. Ladies are trying to find an explanation, and the guys out there are trying to give an explanation without sounding like a jerk. Here's the thing before I get into this, right? The issue of proposal, when to do it, what is the average time, before. This is a deeply personal issue that's different for every relationship. So there isn't a standard time, there isn't a standard period of time that you should be getting freaked out, right? But it's good to talk about this stuff because uh, the question of why he hasn't proposed, it lingers in the air, and sometimes guys can be a little funny with this, but sometimes there are legitimate reasons why he hasn't done that. And so here we go. So here's number one, right? First thing I want to talk about is that the first reason why he has not proposed, right, is the fact that in an attempt to get you, he became who he was not. Now, it sounds a little plain and cliche, but just think about that for a moment. So, and this is happening not necessarily because he had, bad intentions, or because, or he had, just bad thoughts about leading you on. But in many cases, it's because you demanded those things, right? So, and you got caught up in what he was doing for you and forgot to check in on how he was managing to do those things for you, right? And worse still, like even worse, is the fact that you maybe forgot to check if the things that he was doing for you were in alignment with his values. So it's a difference between what a guy is doing for you and and if those things are actually in alignment with his personal values. Because sometimes guys will come out of their personal values to get you if that's what you demand. But a lot of women make the mistake of not making sure to check if what he's doing is actually within his personal values. So, for example, he comes to church with you, right? But you're the reason why he's coming to church, right? Going to church is not within his personal. He has no direct and intentional interest in developing that Christian relationship with in his faith, right? But he'll come to church for you. See, again, nothing wrong with going to church, but it's important that you check that that's in alignment with his personal values. Or let's say, he spends money or, resources to impress you. You got used to that, but you didn't check if that was in alignment with his values, right? So he may spend the money to get you, but maybe his personal values are more in alignment with being thrifty. Um, Now, it could also be that he just flat out lied to you, yeah, about who he was and about, how he was doing what he was doing. Guys do that. Guys can be funny, and I admit that. No justification for lying, but I'm just saying that it's possible. But the thing to ask yourself is, would you have dated this guy if he wasn't properly packaged? Right? If he wasn't at the level that he sort of came across, whatever that level meant to you, would he have been as dateable as that? See, I want to leave you with this. Um, a man will always be connected to how he got you. How do I explain this? It, a man will always think about how he got you as a measure of what it would take to keep you. So if a man, for example, prayed you into existence, right? Got you because of his connection with God, really, really took his time to seek the face of God about you. then at the back of his mind, he knows that in order to keep you, he has to go to the same space. If a man got you the easy way, then that's the space that he will assume it will take to keep you. If a man got you by doing nice things for you and spending money on you and showering you with gifts and all that stuff, then by default, a man or that man is connected to the idea that in order to keep you, he's going to be fine as long as he is buying you nice things. In other words, he's going to buy his way out of whatever. So just take a moment and think about the fact that, hey, how did we come into a relation? How did he, quote unquote, get me? Right? I hope this really helps. Again, that's one of the major reasons why guys stall in terms of proposal to the woman that they're dating. Because in order to get her, they became who they were not. He became who he was not. And suddenly he can't sustain how he got you. He knows that the impression that he gave you in terms of being his girlfriend or being his lady, he can't sustain it. And he now knows this, and it's making him stall to commit. That's number one. Number two coming up soon.